Have you ever stared at someone and wondered, how on earth do they still look so young? It's not just the skincare, not the makeup, not even their genes. The truth goes far deeper into the mind, into the soul. In a world where chronic stress silently steals our vitality, where people in their 30s can appear more drained than those in their 50s, there exists a rare kind of individual. They carry a different light, a glow that doesn't come from any product, but from something much more powerful. Psychologists have been trying to explain it for decades. So if people have ever told you that you don't look your age, this video isn't just a compliment to your appearance. It's a psychological revelation. It says something profound about your inner world, your emotional habits, your way of being. Today, we're diving into why some people defy time and what it really means when your face tells a younger story than your years. If you're ready to see yourself and others in a whole new way, smash that like button, subscribe to the Stoic Capsule, and let's unpack the hidden truth no one talks about. 1. They let go easily. Have you ever met someone who's endured the worst loss, betrayal, heartbreak, but somehow walks around with a peaceful, almost radiant energy? It's not magic. It's not moisturizer. It's their mindset. They've mastered the art of letting go. People who forgive and release resentment don't just feel lighter emotionally, they look lighter. Because emotional weight leaves a mark. It shows up in the tension of your jaw, the heaviness in your eyes, the slump in your shoulders. Bitterness doesn't stay invisible. It carves itself into your face. We age not just because of time, but because of pain we refuse to release. The anger, the grudges, the endless loops of why did they do this to me? They don't just eat away at your peace. They fast forward your aging. But when someone chooses to release that pain, their entire presence shifts. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting. It means choosing freedom over control. And that freedom shows up everywhere, from how your skin glows to the way your eyes light up. People often ask, what's the real secret to youth? It's this: you're not carrying years, you're carrying pain. And the less you carry, the younger you look. So if you truly want to turn back the clock, don't just invest in creams. Invest in healing. Let go, not for them, but for you. Because your face is always telling a story. And when that story is peace, your youth becomes impossible to ignore. 2. They stay curious like a child. Have you ever watched a child get completely mesmerized by the world around them, their eyes wide with wonder, asking a million questions, soaking up every little detail? That spark, the pure desire to understand, to explore, to stay curious, isn't just adorable. It's powerful. And believe it or not, that same spark is what keeps some people looking young well into their later years. They never stop asking why. They stay fascinated with life, with people, with the way things work. They don't become rigid or closed off. They remain open, mentally alive, emotionally agile. And psychology backs this up. Curiosity is one of the strongest signs of a flexible, youthful mind. It keeps the brain sharp, the spirit light, and the energy fresh. And here's where it gets fascinating: that curiosity we just talked about, it doesn't just stay in your head. It directly influences your body. When your mind stays open and alive, your body listens. Your cells respond with energy. Your skin reflects vitality. Your eyes sparkle with a sense of wonder. You radiate something, magnetic something people can't quite explain. It's not youth in the traditional sense. It's aliveness. But here's the catch. Most people sadly lose that spark as they get older. They stop asking questions. They get stuck in predictable patterns. Their lives become more about repetition than exploration. Have you noticed it? That mental stiffness, that dull look in someone's eyes? It's not always age, it's the absence of curiosity. And once that mental rigidity sets in, aging begins. To speed up not just physically, but spiritually. They stop dreaming. They stop playing. And before long, they stop feeling alive. You can see it on their faces. The glow fades. The light behind their eyes dims. The world feels smaller. Life becomes heavy, robotic, repetitive, and slowly they begin to look older. Not because time has passed, but because growth has stopped. But those who stay curious, whether they're 25 or 65, have something different about them. They remain mentally sharp, emotionally alive, spiritually hungry. They still read, still wonder, still laugh at the small things. They ask questions. They try new things. They don't let life become a cage. That energy, it's ageless. It keeps their spirit light and their presence unforgettable. Their faces don't wear the boredom of routine. Their smiles are real. Their laughter is playful. You can feel their youth before you even notice their age. So here's the truth. Curiosity isn't just a personality trait, it's your fountain of youth. The very moment you stop exploring is the moment you start aging. Stay curious, stay alive, stay ageless. 3. They don't live to please everyone. Let's be real. If you're constantly trying to make everyone happy, let me tell you something hard but true. You're not just losing your peace. You're aging faster than you realize. People who say yes when they mean no, who smile while their heart is quietly breaking, who shrink themselves just to avoid disappointing others. They're carrying an invisible weight. That kind of people-pleasing creates silent stress. It doesn't scream. It whispers. It accumulates. And over time, it becomes visible in their tired eyes, in their drained posture, in the forced way they laugh. At first, it might seem like they're just being nice, but inside, they're suffocating. And that emotional suffocation has a cost. Stress from trying to meet everyone's expectations turns into tension, inflammation, fatigue. Eventually, it leaves its mark on their face, their energy, their entire presence. Now compare that to someone who lives authentically. They say no when it's necessary. They set boundaries unapologetically. They don't try to be liked by everyone. They choose peace over approval. And that inner peace? It's powerful. Peace softens the muscles in your face. It relaxes your shoulders. It smooths your skin and calms your breath. It slows your biological clock. People who are true to themselves glow differently. Their authenticity gives them a kind of beauty that can't be faked. They don't wear fake smiles, they wear freedom. So ask yourself, are you aging because you're afraid to make someone uncomfortable? Are you sacrificing your youth just to keep the peace? Because the moment You stop living to please others. You start living for real. And that freedom it shows in your confidence, in your glow, in your undeniable presence. The most magnetic, youthful people are not the ones trying to be perfect. They're the ones bold enough to be real. For they know how to play. Let's set one thing straight. In fact, the people who seem to stay young, who somehow glow with a kind of timeless joy, share one powerful secret. They never abandon their inner child. In today's world, adulthood has turned into a heavy cloak of seriousness, deadlines, bills, responsibilities, pressure. Somewhere along the way, we were taught that being mature means being serious all the time, that laughter is childish, that play is unproductive, and so we bury it, the silliness, the games, the wild imagination. We trade our wonder for worry, our spontaneity for structure, and in doing so, we lose something irreplaceable. But those who hold on to play, they're different. They still dance in the kitchen. They still make jokes. They still allow themselves to be silly, spontaneous, weird. And because of that, their spirit doesn't harden, their energy stays light. Their laughter genuine and full is medicine, not just for the soul, but for the body too. Science agrees. Playfulness is directly linked to reduced stress, better brain function, and even longer life expectancy. When you laugh, when you move freely, when you let your mind wander like a child's, you activate parts of your brain that promote renewal and vitality, and you can see it in their face, in their body language, in their eyes. They don't wear the weight of adulthood the same way others do. They glow. So if you've been feeling older than your age, ask yourself, when was the last time you really played? Not for a goal, not for a result, but just for fun? Because that inner child you buried, they're still in there, waiting for permission to come out. And when you let them out, something amazing happens. Your face lights up, your body relaxes, and suddenly, you don't just feel younger, you look it. 5. They practice gratitude. Deeply, it might sound cliché, but gratitude, the real, deep kind, is one of the most underrated tools for staying youthful. Think about it. When someone lives in a constant state of lack, always chasing, always comparing, always wanting more, they live in a mental storm. And that storm shows. It shows in their restlessness, their dissatisfaction, their hardened expression. But people who practice gratitude deeply have a different energy. They see beauty in the ordinary. They find peace in small wins. They focus more on what's right than what's missing. And that mindset doesn't just change their mood, it transforms their body. Lower stress, better sleep, reduced inflammation, all of which are directly connected to aging. Their faces soften. Their smiles come easier. Their entire presence feels warmer, calmer, and yes, younger. So if you want to slow time, don't just change your routine, change your perspective. Train your mind to see the good, even when life gets hard. Because a grateful heart creates a youthful soul. 6. They think bigger. Not small. Error plan didn't work. Someone disappointed them. Something didn't go their way. What do most people do? They spiral. They replay the situation over and over like a broken record of their analyzing, overthinking, letting the same thoughts run wild until it consumes them. But the people who look younger than their age, they don't let their mind stay trapped in emotional quicksand. They think bigger. They don't waste time obsessing over things that can't be changed. They've trained their mind to zoom out, to rise above the moment and view life from a higher altitude. They know that one bad day doesn't define their whole life, that not every insult deserves attention, that clinging to every bump in the road is like dragging rocks in a backpack. It slows you down. It weighs you down. And yes, it ages you. Psychologists confirm this truth. When you live with purpose, when you have a clear vision and long-term focus, your mental health improves. And when your mind is well, your body follows. Stress drops, aging slows, focus sharpens, energy returns. You literally carry less emotional weight, and it shows in how you walk, how you glow, how you exist. Think about it. Have you ever seen someone who's addicted to drama, gossip, and negativity radiate peace or youthfulness? Rarely. But those who stay focused on growth, on meaning, on legacy, they walk with calm. They rise above the noise. They radiate a kind of ageless grace because their spirit isn't being dragged by every little storm. They're not escaping reality. They're rising above it. 7. They don't let the world steal their joy. If there's one thing more powerful than any skincare routine, any supplement, or any miracle cream, it's joy. Real, unshakable, untouchable joy, not the kind you fake for photos, not the fleeting happiness that depends on circumstances, but the kind of joy that lives deep in your chest, the joy that refuses to die. Even when the world turns cold, people who look younger than their age often have this fire inside them. They haven't gone numb. They haven't let life make them bitter. They protect their joy like their life depends on it, because in many ways it does. Science agrees. Joy triggers serotonin, dopamine, oxytocin, all of which act like your brain's own natural youth serum. It reduces inflammation, boosts your immune system, improves sleep, and makes your skin literally glow. Yet most people give their joy away. They scroll through negativity. They feed their mind with fear. They carry burdens that don't even belong to them. And slowly, that light begins to fade. They stop laughing. They stop dancing. They stop smiling without a reason. You can see it. They don't just look older in their face. They look older in spirit. But those who refuse to surrender their joy, they shine. They laugh loudly. They find beauty in chaos. They hold on to peace like it's sacred. And even if their life isn't perfect, they walk with the glow of someone who knows my joy is mine, and no one can take it from me. You can't fake that kind of joy. You can't bottle it. But when it's real, you see it in every expression, every breath, every step they take. So if you truly want to look younger, stop chasing surface-level solutions. Start with joy. Because joy is the fountain of youth the world has forgotten. So if someone has ever told you, you don't look your age, know this: it's not just good genes or dumb luck. It's a reflection of how your mind works, how your soul chooses to live, how deeply you've protected your peace. And if no one has ever said that to you, don't worry. You now know the truth. And you have the power to change it by rewiring your thoughts, by choosing peace over panic, by, letting joy come back to life inside you. Because the greatest anti-aging secret isn't found in a bottle. It's found in your mind. If this video gave you clarity or touched something inside you, hit that like button, share it with someone who needs this message, and subscribe to Stoic Capsule for more powerful insights like this. Let's keep growing, not just older, but wiser, stronger, and more radiant. This is your time. Stay young, stay powerful.